The Ron and Carol Cope Cornerstone of Excellence Award was established in 2003. It's presented to individuals who have provided significant service, support, and promotion of UNK, the greater Kearney area, and the state of Nebraska. Like the Copes, after whom this award has been named, the recipient must be a true cornerstone of our university. This is a university-wide award, and all the nominations are reviewed and approved by our Board of Regents. It is our highest campus honor. Regent Rob Schaefer will assist me this morning in our presentation to Dr. Dan Slawski of Kearney. Dr. Slawski and Regent Schaefer, would you please come forward? A native of St. Louis, a National Merit Scholar, Phi Beta Kappa, a graduate of Washington University, an MD graduate of Washington University School of Medicine, a major in the United States Air Force Medical Corps, and one of the region's finest and most trusted orthopedic surgeons. Dr. Dan Slawski has bettered the lives of countless people, including many of today's graduates. Dan and his family, wife Jo and their 3 sons, Daniel Jr., Joshua, and Benjamin, moved to Kearney in 1992, where he began the practice of an orthopedic surgeon. In 1995, he founded Trails West Sports Medicine Clinic, which offered sports medicine services to athletes of all ages, including athletic training services and an outreach program. As Trails West progressed and expanded, he founded and is the current president and partner of New West Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, a world-class orthopedic institute. He's been extremely dedicated, committed, and is a generous friend of this university and to this region. For more than 22 years, he has been closely involved with our student athletes and the staff of our Department of Intercollegiate Athletics. He served as the team's orthopedic surgeon for all sports since 1997 and is our medical director of both the Human Performance Lab and the athletic training program here on campus. His outreach program is now in its 20th year, serving all high schools in the area, in western and central Nebraska particularly. He's well known for his service and chairman of the board and the managers of Kearney's Heartland Ambulatory Surgical Center, his affiliation with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, his service as the team surgeon for the Tri-City Storm, and providing medical coverage for many special events in this area, such as Senior Olympics, the High School State Cross Country Championships, Division II championships that are held and hosted here. He has had tremendous support financially for our institution as well. They are one of the top contributors, due in large part to Dr. Slawski. Dan, we appreciate your support. We appreciate everything you've done for the university. We appreciate everything you've done for the community as well. And it's going to be hard someday to see you go. We hope you're never, never a stranger. Dr. Dan Slawski. I'm going to get up here for a picture. And you're going to want to get one right there.
I wish to thank Chancellor Christensen, the Board of Regents, and the nominating committee for this distinctive honor. To be recognized with the Cope Award is truly humbling. In the 2 decades that I've spent working with the university faculty, staff, and students, it has been my privilege to be associated with some of the finest individuals I've ever encountered. The University of Nebraska at Kearney is a cornerstone of this region, providing a portal to the greater national and international communities. In my role with student athletes, it has been particularly gratifying to watch these exceptional young men and women grow and mature, ultimately taking the lessons learned both in the classroom and the field of competition to become exemplary citizens. Intercollegiate sports were initially created for this very purpose, as a vehicle of discipline and tempering of the mind and body to prepare individuals for the confrontations of life. The modern world we possess is fraught with challenges and dangers on a scale unforeseen a generation ago. There's now an increasingly complex global economy, an unprecedented expansion of technology, widespread social unrest, and a new enemy on the verge of nuclear capability for whom assured mutual destruction appears to be a goal rather than a deterrent as it was in the Cold War. Our nation and our world are in a leadership crisis. As we gaze upon the graduates seated before here, as at commencement ceremonies across the country, we survey the leaders of tomorrow. Theirs is a formidable burden to bind the wounds of division, embrace adversity, and labor for the common good. Mentors and role models are to be sought as never before. In looking to history for the archetypical leader, one would be hard-pressed to do better than President Theodore Roosevelt. Although born into affluence, he was soon beset with physical maladies and personal tragedies which would have overwhelmed all but the most stoic of souls. Rather than succumbing to his trials, he sought what he referred to as the rigorous life. Before becoming the youngest U.S. president at age 42, he'd achieved international prominence as a noted author, historian, conservationist, war hero, Assistant Secretary of the Navy, U.S. Vice President, and New York State Police Commissioner, Representative, and Governor. As president, he negotiated an end to the brutal Russo-Japanese War, succeeded in construction of the Panama Canal where scores of others had failed, dismantled the monopolies which threatened to strangle economic competition, placed more wilderness acreage under federal protection than any president before or since, and brought the United States onto the world stage as a legitimate power. He was the first president to fly in an airplane, own an automobile, have a telephone in his home, and travel outside the borders of the U.S. while still in office. And if all this were not enough, he's the only individual in history to be awarded both the Nobel Prize for Peace and the Congressional Medal of Honor for extraordinary valor in combat. Heady stuff indeed. In his lifetime, Roosevelt commanded respect and, more importantly, admiration the world over in a way no American had since Washington or Franklin. Following his presidency, he was invited to tour Europe as a visiting dignitary and was greeted by enormous crowds. At the University of Paris in April 1910, he presented his speech, Citizenship in a Republic, and I believe excerpts from this are particularly apropos for my closing today. To judge a man merely by success is an abhorrent wrong. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. As you graduate and enter the arena of the real world, dare greatly in whatever you endeavor. You can never be faulted for giving your all. Thank you.